chapel here and home, Kilmaine and Jail. I think about these past few weeks. Oh, well, they say we failed. From our school days they have taught us that we must yearn for liberty. Yet all I want in this dark place is to have you here with me. Oh, Grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger, and take me out of the dawn, and I will die. With all my love I place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, for we must say goodbye.
I dreamt last night, God blessed my dreaming, the north and the south had come back to the fold. There were no more 6 counties, no borders, no perils, and the flag throughout Ireland was green, white and gold. The marchers were gone, no more were they needed. The long ode to peace had been reached and was won. At last poor old Ireland her troubles defeated, and all of her children united and won. The tanks and the guns and the bombs departed. The battles were fought, they were over and won. No bloody Sundays, no trouble, no hatred, and the dark clouds of terror were lifted and gone. I visioned the crowds all singing and dancing, and the children played on the streets without fear. But the best thing of all in my dream I remember was the great wave of tranquil around Ireland so dear. But then I awoke with my weeping and sobbing, and the thoughts of reality near broke my poor heart. I could hear the tanks rolling and the bombs still exploding, and a stranger still tearing my country apart. My answer is clear as to what's the solution. If they dearly love England, then it's there they should be. Let Ireland be Ireland, one country, one nation, with her sons and her daughters united and free.
To the Field General Court-Martial held at Dublin Castle on May 9, 1916. I do not wish to make any defence except against charges of wanton cruelty to prisoners. These trifling allegations that have been made, if they record facts that really happened, deal only with the almost unavoidable incidents of a hurried uprising against long-established authority, and nowhere show evidence of set purpose to wantonly injure unarmed prisoners. We went out to break the connection between this country and the British Empire and to establish an Irish Republic. We believed that the call we then issued to the people of Ireland was a nobler call, in a holier cause than any call issued to them during this war, having any connection with the war. We succeeded in proving that Irish men are ready to die endeavouring to win for Ireland those national rights which the British government has been asking them to die to win for Belgium. As long as that remains the case, the cause of Irish freedom is safe. Believing that the British government has no right in Ireland, never had any right in Ireland, and never can have any right in Ireland, the presence in any one generation of Irish men, of even a respectable minority, ready to die to affirm that truth, makes that government forever a usurpation and crime against human progress. I personally thank God that I have lived to see the day when thousands of Irish men and boys and hundreds of Irish women and girls were ready to affirm that truth and to attest to it with their lives if need be. James Connolly, Commandant General, Dublin Division, Army of the Irish Republic.
Some of you might see the portrait here that's hung up on the wall. That's volunteer Charles Mullen, the first volunteer from Ulster to die. He died in transit to County Kerry to meet Roger Casement. Himself and his comrades unfortunately had a car accident, but they were the first people associated with the Rising, and certainly the first Oglach from Ulster to die on active service. We have members of Charlie's family here today, and I know we have other families represented as well. And just before we did move on, I wanted to make the point again, just to in particular welcome you, and to, on behalf of everyone else that's here, say what an honour it is to have you with us here today, and to keep inspiring us in terms of the political activism that we carry out in this place and other places every day. So our main speaker today is the Teachta Dála for Connolly Meath Peadar Toibin. Peadar has played a lead role in the Sinn Fein team that entered Leinster House after the election. Anyone who watches The Week in Politics will probably see Peadar on most weeks, articulating finely, strongly and concisely the very clear Republican alternative to what we're seeing in the 26 counties at the moment. But nothing new now to have Sinn Fein TDs wandering the corridors of Stormont. So Peadar, to Féin and Fáilte Road, where am I?
First of all, I suppose it's a major opportunity for myself to be able to come here. I'm the first TD for Meath, Sinn Fein TD for Meath since Liam Mellows, and it was a great honour for me to be able to take that seat for Sinn Fein, and then to be able to come to Stormont and to kind of, officially launch the Lily here today was phenomenal. And it's happening at a good time because both North and South, I suppose, we're seeing a resurgent Sinn Féin party. And we see very, very clearly in the South that Sinn Féin is offering real leadership and opposition to a government that is simply implementing the Troika's policies of austerity. And we're offering an alternative, a simple alternative that will mean that people won't have to emigrate, that people won't have to be unemployed, and that people can look after their families also. So it's also, I suppose, worth noting at this moment in time that the Ireland of today is not that different from the Ireland of the 16 rising generation. And as I said earlier on, that the decisions affecting people north and south are simply being made in London and in Berlin. And Sinn Féin is about self-determination. It's about independence, and that independence means that simply that we create laws for the people, by the people, and that we put the Irish people in charge of their own destiny. And in our history, when we have charge of our own destiny, we make decisions that are more suitable to our needs. And what's happened is, over the last number of years, is decisions are being made that are contrary to the needs and are actually doing the economy, both north and south, terrible damage. So I suppose our job at the moment is to go out and to work with people in communities and convince them of the need to work for self-determination. And Easter is an extremely important time because not only do we remember the individuals who have struggled for independence for the last 100 years, but we also focus on the energy, the ideals, the commitment of that generation. And it's that commitment and those ideals that inspire our generation to get stuck in and work for a 32 county independent republic.